we doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens?
What's poppin'?
Yes, indeed, man. Back again. Over here, man, I myself, Mr. John Johnson, sitting in the center. To my left, we have over here.
That means me, Louis Dangervil, that's me.
Yes, indeed, full circle.
Hey, right, what's happening, y'all?
Yes.
Guess what, folks? We came up with a name. We were going to call it Baldy, Dread, and Insurance Guy, but that got put away. We're going to go with Know the Code.
Baldy Dread.
You guys like it? You know the code?
Know the code. Know the code it is, man.
It's basically, we did the mathematics, we studied our lessons, and we know the code.
It's true.
No, but, yeah. Today, getting together on this Easter Sunday.
Yeah, man. Drinking some water.
Talking like a preacher.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stephon Clark.
A lot of different things to talk about, man. As far as that goes, man. And I don't even mean to, add that little bit of laughter in there, but I've seen some different angles and some different takes on this situation. I think we all know this is a familiar situation and scenario. Anybody that's watching this knows, if you've been paying attention, that this is pretty familiar. Something very interesting came up with this particular case, though. And some people decided to go back into Mr. Clark's timeline, right? And pull up some things, as we do these days, And one of the things they pulled up was some disparaging comments that he had made about black women. Now, it seems to be that he's married to a Filipino woman, or was married, or has babies by, I don't know if he's married, a Filipino woman, seems to have 2 children by it, young children. And one of his comments was, and I think this one was about last year sometime, right? He had said something about, somebody had said black is beautiful. And his response to it was, I don't want nothing black but an Xbox. Dark BI itches bring dark days. To paraphrase or phrase directly. Now, due to that, some of the black women out there have taken issue with this. And they have said that I will not defend a man who is not going to defend me. So they are very much indifferent to his death. They say they have better things to do with their time. Now, me personally,
how you feel on that?
One thing I pointed out, although I don't agree with his commentary, the brother was 22 years of age. He was a young man. You understand what I'm saying? Still figuring it out. I had to remind him, once upon that's the water talking. Once upon a time, there was a man named Malcolm Little who was in his early 20s. Had a perm, ate pork, dated white women. But he was
pimp white women. That's what pimps usually go by. They get white girls because they're easier to manage. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, it takes you time to grow up.
Right.
And he didn't get that time. So maybe he would have came to the realization that black is beautiful and all that shit I was talking is left field.
Very much so. And we've seen enough people turn their lives around. We've seen ourselves. There's some of our thinking we look back at and we look at it as foolish. But that's called growth, and it's only because we've had the chance to do so that we had the opportunity to look back on those thoughts. He never got that. But this contingent, and it wasn't only black women, it was men too. You know what I mean, chiming in. But it's this contingent that's been so hurt by the negative commentary towards black women that they're willing to throw everything else out the window. You know what I'm saying? And just focus on that one piece of the situation. I said, listen, it didn't matter what his orientation was sexually, what his views on religion were. They shot that man because he was black.
And that's the context that this discussion should be in.
Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And anything else is a redirection.
Yes.
At this particular point. Not to invalidate the fact that black women are disrespected on that level by some black men. But to take that piece of it and just to say that I ain't fucking with this whole shit. Well, I guess you have arrived at your ultimate point of blackness. There's nothing in you we can critique. God forbid the bullets hit you tomorrow when we find something on your timeline to say, hey, well, this
something
man.
Like fit.
You know what I mean? Well, he had a bad opinion about Dr. Umar, so we ain't fucking with him. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. You know what I mean? It was insanity to me.
It's like, have y'all you seen that Roxanne?
Started watching it, I ain't get to finish it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I watched that shit, I'm like, man, niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like his youthful commentary of black women, as disparaging as it may be, when women take up and they say, if he's gonna talk bad about us, we ain't gonna defend him. It's understandable because there's women going through stuff and they ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at a certain point, you gotta start holding people accountable for their actions. And like you said, he's young. So who we really need to hold accountable is the people that came before him that didn't score him. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching this one thing called Daughters of Destiny. And
where you watching it on?
Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix. And it's about, like, the first episode was about these people called the Untouchables in India. And they're super poor, and to the point where people, the belief in the country is that if you even hang around them, they can sully you. You know what I'm saying? So nobody goes near them, nobody talks to them, nobody even touches them. They're like lepers, you know? So this dude...
These are the dark-skinned people, though.
Yes. They look just like us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People
But with straight hair.
that Gandhi was racially biased. Right.
So this dude, he was a banker out in New Jersey and decided he wanted to change his life. And he went to India and started this thing called Shanti Bhavan. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a program where every year they take 12 girls and 12 boys from the age of 4, and they take care of them from the beginning of their school to the first day of work. And they just make sure that this family has a lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? And I said all that to say, like, we need to... Black men did this, black women did this. At a certain point, we need to say, yo, we all fucked up. Let's go save these kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, man. I was like, damn, man, y'all ever seen the doll test? Where they take the little boys and girls and they show them the black and white doll. I was like, damn, man, should we get rid of these little coons too? I mean, like, what's going on here? Where does this stop? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, granted, you get to a certain age where you can be considered incorrigible. You are unchangeable. There's nothing we can do with you. And we do have people out there like that. But,
in their ways.
Yeah, but you gotta see the potential in the youth, though. You have to. And if you don't see that, it's only because you don't see it in yourself. In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it was sad, man. And I mean, like, all the different angles that was coming at me and all of this. And it's a social media platform. But it does represent a portion of the thinking that's really out there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little disheartening to me to be receiving this commentary, you know, from people. And I was asking them, you know, what is it personally that you've been through, you know what I'm saying, in your life that has you to the point where you can't see past the pain, you know what I'm saying, of what you experienced. I wasn't getting too many direct answers, but, you know, just like you said, we all have been kind of damaged, you know what I mean, coming up in this society, so we gotta have some patience with one another to a degree. I ain't saying everybody gets a pass on everything, but when it comes to something like this could have been any one of us, any given day, and I think we all know that.
Like anything, man, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like you said, is you know, people can make assumptions off someone's social media post or someone's video, or you know what I mean. Like, but those are all small snippets of what make us who we are as people. And you know, I think even when you circle back to talking about whoever raised them, or like, my parents tried to open my eyes to a lot of stuff that I just didn't accept. You know, so I think at that age, like you said, who knows, man? Who knows? I think like whenever you have a complex scenario, deal with it in its most basic form. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day is clearly there's societal issues that still need to be addressed. You know what I mean? And I have to say for me, out of this particular scenario, is seeing this brother run into the city council and shut it down. You know, and I got to say again, unfortunately, the brother might not be the most eloquent, in verbalizing his pain, but you couldn't help but miss. You couldn't miss, exactly, the pain he's feeling and what he was going through. And I think that the spirit in which they went in there and shut it down, like the spirit in which is exactly what we need as far as just trying to make sure that we don't lose our desire to find ways to improve, you know what I mean, and improve our conditions, because I think at the end of the day, nobody's going to give you the platform, you know what I mean, nobody. Nobody. And again, this is your own, the other side, whatever it may be. It's like, we got to own our own message, you know what I mean, and carry that. So that's the sad part of it all is, again, like you were saying, you take a tragic situation and you want to turn it into, well, he didn't like black women, or, this was who he was, or this is what he said. It's like, yo, all that's really relevant. Like you said, the bottom line is the man got shot down in the backyard because the cops were fearful for no reason. And again, I heard a brother put it like this. He's like, hey man, Dylan Roof ran in there, shot up with, that church, took him to McDonald's on the way home. Guy went down there in Florida, shot up the school, brought him in alive. Like, guy shoots up Vegas, kills 50-something people, bring him in alive. It's like, all right, so in those scenarios where the person you're dealing with is dangerous, confirmed, you can find a way to bring that man in alive. Or you got somebody chasing what were they chasing? Somebody breaking car windows or something like that?
Supposed to be about
it's like...
It died over property.
It's a joke. It's a joke. And again, to me, the bigger issue is this. In this particular scenario, it frames a bigger issue, and we've seen it in Baltimore, we've seen it in Chicago, where the video in and of itself shows you what they do behind the scenes to try and make sure there's not too much evidence. Cover your mic, turn off your body cam, all of those things. Again, if we want to start talking about, the appearance of guilt, that's all I need to see.
Present.
It's almost like the body cams were kind of like, oh, you want to see what we do? All right. You want to see the shit on the news like 20 times a night? Because we still going to get off. Mm-hmm. Don't make no dick. Y'all ain't see Rodney King? Y'all want this Rodney King shit on your TV every night?
Let's do it every night.
All right, I'm with it. But ain't nothing changing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't moving, we ain't budging. This is what we do. This is how we function. Yeah. They hit a protester the other night. I don't know if you guys saw this on the news. A lady, police cruiser, you know what I'm saying, hit her. She was just crossing the street, boom, intentionally. You can see it was intentional. The police's statement is, oh, well, protesters were gathering and surrounding the car. They broke out a window. They kicked the car. You don't see none of that shit on the video. Yeah. But it's the power of the pen and policy. Word. You know what I'm saying? They write the narrative. So we don't give a fuck what you saw. It's what we say. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. It's like a big slap in the face.